Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware. Time to get mulch. And Omni True Value Hardware has mulch and tons of it because they make it there at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. 631-756-1125 is the telephone number, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. Also brought to you by Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst. Your complete holiday lighting specialist, meeting all your decorating needs, whether you want to get your home decorated or maybe you want to do this as a business. Give them a call, 631-957-5106, and the website is liholidaylighting.com. So we are here today where the main story and the main focus will be on a cold front and the chance for thunderstorms and the possibility that we could see severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center overnight has actually expanded the area of severe weather risk from northeastern North Carolina up the coast and up into southern and even central New England, and it has added an area of slight risk of severe weather from Chesapeake Bay and the southern Delmarva Peninsula, covering most of New Jersey, the lower and middle Hudson Valley, western Connecticut, western Massachusetts, and even the western half of Long Island, which was a little bit of a surprise to me because this time of year, the south wind is usually a thunderstorm killer for the areas that have south-facing shorelines like southern Connecticut, Rhode Island, southeastern New England, and Long Island in particular. But nonetheless, that's what they're thinking. And the back edge of the marginal risk going back west of Scranton, west of Harrisburg, down to about also west of Washington, D.C., and west of Baltimore. The risk in terms of what to expect, there's actually a small 2%, relatively small 2% risk of a tornado in northern New Jersey into the lower Hudson Valley and southwestern New England, particularly in western Connecticut and on up into western Massachusetts. Wind is the bigger issue, a 15% chance of wind gusts of 50 knots or higher within 25 miles of any point. There's a 15% chance of that happening in the slight risk zone, and I think that's a 2% risk of hail for the same area that includes the marginal risk. So it looks like SPC is being rather bullish here on the prospects for severe weather. We have some time, if you notice on the satellite loop, that the clouds are still well to the west. Much of the area from southeastern New England down into North Carolina is relatively clear. So I think we're going to see some sunshine, and that's going to create some daytime heating, make the atmosphere even more unstable than it already is. And as this cold front approaches with the wave developing on it, and that wave is going to be developing pretty much near us. So oftentimes you can see maximum severe weather where you have the actual wave developing and strengthening, and it's going to run up from western Pennsylvania on up and through upstate New York. So this is probably the reason why SPC has expanded that area of risk. As far as the radar is concerned, at least as of 7 a.m. Eastern time, there's nothing going on nearby, but you're starting to see some cells develop well to the west in Pennsylvania, and that's that cold front that is beginning to sweep on eastward. We have pretty much a good setup here for thunderstorms. The atmosphere very unstable, and if you take a look here at the upper air, you actually can see in that darker green and yellow, that's a very, very strong jet that develops over the area of risk during this afternoon and going into this evening, and that's a very, very robust upper trough that is swinging on through. When we take a look at the specifics, for example, on the NAM model, you see those brownish blotches there. Those are indications of jet streaks, gusty, strong winds over relatively short distances that are scattered around throughout much of the area from eastern Virginia on northward. So this is usually a signal in the upper air that there's the potential for thunderstorms, and these strong winds will attempt to mix down at the surface. And if we just take a look at what this is supposed to look like with respect to the radar on the NAM, and you'll see that there is a line here that develops in eastern Pennsylvania. We'll break it down in terms of the timing as far as what to expect and when to expect it this afternoon. So this is at 2 p.m. You see the line starting to rev up here in eastern Pennsylvania. Here we are at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. The storms over central Long Island. The map is not loaded, but here it is at 5 p.m. Storms moving into western Long Island. And then the NAM is kind of mixed with this. They hold together for a little while, and then they start to weaken as that line moves out further east. There really isn't going to be too much that happens ahead of that. So much of this morning into early afternoon, it should be relatively quiet and partly sunny. Maybe an odd shower pops up here and there. So that's the story for the thunderstorm activity that we expect for today. After the wave goes by, it's going to turn windy and very cold for tonight into tomorrow morning, and gusty winds all day long tomorrow, 20 to 35 miles per hour. We're looking at low temperatures that are going to be in the low and mid 30s, and temperatures are going to be below freezing northern New Jersey, in the Hudson Valley, particularly north of Route 84 in Connecticut, even down in the low 30s in south central, southeastern Pennsylvania, back over into Maryland. A very, very cold night indeed. And as for high temperatures for tomorrow, well, these are the numbers that are for today. We're seeing temperatures mostly in the mid 60s to low 70s, but for tomorrow, you can expect temperatures to kind of struggle all day long. Many areas will have a tough time getting to 50. Highs at best will be up in the lower 50s. But we should have clouds and some sunshine, more sun near the coast and probably more clouds inland. Moving ahead, we are going to still be on the breezy side on Friday. Temperatures should rebound to the upper 50s and low 60s. As far as the weekend is concerned, Saturday's the better of the two weekend days. As high pressure moves offshore, we'll have sunshine into the afternoon. And then here comes low pressure out of the southern plains, heading into the central Appalachians and redeveloping along the coast. So rain moves in Saturday night and probably moves out by midday or early afternoon on Sunday as the low moves away to the east, and weather conditions should improve after that. Thinking next week could wind up being mostly on the dry side, but we are getting into a bit of a blocking pattern again, and we're going to have to watch to see if there's any kind of backdoor cold front issues as we go through next week. But at least according to some of the longer range models, we may not see any rain at all through the work week, given the way this next blocking pattern is setting up. All right, Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, 631-756-1125, the website omnitruevalue.com, and Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst, 631-957-5106, the website liholidaylighting.com. Just to move ahead here, just very quickly, and we're going to talk more about this on the Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight. As far as the severe weather risk is concerned, no issues for tomorrow. But as we move along toward Friday into Saturday, look for a large area of slight risk. And this might probably be a little underdone here, that in the southern plains and across the western and central and into the central Gulf states. And we also will have risks to deal with on Saturday into Sunday for areas from southeast Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, most of Georgia into South Carolina and the Florida Panhandle. A lot of this is the area, the same area that's been dealing with severe weather risk for much of this spring season, and it's kind of revving up again in almost the same place. So we're going to talk all about that on the Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight, along with the wrap up of what's going on with the thunderstorms for us today. And we'll look ahead to the weekend. And for the long range, that's at 7:30 Eastern Time.